Hello, this is Jason, back with another walk and talk, and we have ourselves a much more beautiful day than we had last time. Clear skies. I don't see just a couple little clouds over there, but for the most part, clear blue, beautiful skies. So, great day for a walk, and start my workout a little late there, but it's 69 degrees. Can't really ask for much better weather to walk in. And I'm going to do a similar loop as I did before the last time that I went to the post office, because I've got another delivery yet again. The eBay sales are keeping me going. Today I sold a Google Nest doorbell that's actually damaged, has a little scratch on it right on the center of the lens so that everything you see is blurry. And I fully declared that in the eBay listing, which is why I listed it so low, and it sold for $30. And I think I only paid like 40, what did I pay for it? I paid like 45, I think. And when I put a request in when I got it that the lens was damaged and it was blurry, they just refunded me. That happens sometimes. They don't even want it back. They just give you your money back. And they're like, whatever. They write it off as a loss. So I just declared what it was. I got a new one. I ordered a new one for like 40 bucks, I think. That was a camera only with no mount, because the one that I had ordered had a mount. So I didn't need the mount. And I got the new one and it was all fine. Got it installed, it's good. And then put this one up for sale and sold it for 30 bucks. So, good deal. I'd sold all of my Ubiquiti. I had Ubiquiti Unified doorbell and cameras. I had 3 cameras like around the house. And those were pretty expensive cameras. I think originally they were $600 a piece, 4K security cameras. But I, of course, did not pay that. I got them on eBay for three of them for $1,000. And then I had them for about, I'd say 2 years. And they always worked fine, no issues. And then I sold them for like $800 and change, which I was fine with that. $200 to rent those cameras for 2 years. That's the way I look at it when I sell stuff, at a loss after owning it for several years. You're renting it. It's figure out what your rental price was. And it was a pretty reasonable rental price. But I sent them to this guy in California, and he's like, one of these cameras don't work. I'm like, they all worked the day that I shipped them out. Like, I had them all up and running because I was keeping them running until I sold them. And he sent me a video showing like he plugged the other 2 in and we're getting link lights, and plugged this one in and didn't do nothing. So he sent it back, and I thought maybe he was trying to do some little switcheroo on me. I had documented all the serial numbers on the cameras. I got it back, and sure enough, this one was one of the ones I sent. So maybe it just got rattled around during shipping and it didn't work. And I can't get any money from the postal service for that. I already threw it away anyway. I tried to take it apart and see if there was anything in there that was obvious, but no. And I submitted like a repair request with Ubiquiti, and they're like, you have to buy from an authorized reseller to even get any kind of warranty, and their warranty is only 1 year if you don't buy it directly from Ubiquiti. And when you buy it directly from Ubiquiti, you only get 2 years, and it's already been over 2 years. So even if I bought it from Ubiquiti and the camera stopped working, they won't do anything to fix it. There's no repairs, which is kind of ridiculous. Those cameras are, $600, and you can't repair it. All you can do is throw it away. It's kind of silly. All right, you don't need to look at my face this whole time. Let me put you on my little neck strap. And I did get my hat mount that I mentioned, but it looks so ridiculous that I cannot wear that in public. It was ridiculous. I don't know how this, let me see, I feel like I'm pointing it up too much. Let me put you about right there. So, yeah, the hat mount it like sticks up on your head. You just look like a total doofus. It might give some good shots, but at the price of your dignity. So, all right, well, that was some recent eBay sales news. And what else? Some other things I've been working on with Grok 3. I switched between several different AI models. I was subscribed to ChatGPT for a while, and it's good. It's probably the best at making like thumbnail images and stuff for YouTube, because it's the only one that listens to what aspect ratio that you want. All the others just spit out either like square aspect ratios when it generates images. But I don't feel like paying for it. You can only generate like 1 or 2 images until your free image generation quota is up. And I do pay for Twitter, like verified Twitter. It allows you to write longer than 255 characters in a tweet. So with that, you get access to the, I guess, more advanced or more higher quota for Grok 3, and access to all like the voice and stuff. And it's pretty crazy, all the different voices. There's some like not safe for work adult versions of Grok that'll talk to you, like unhinged mode, and there's a sexy mode. It'll talk dirty to you. It's pretty wild. And then there's like a therapist mode, a doctor mode. So it's pretty cool how it has all these different models that have different specialties, and some of them are just funny. Like unhinged one is just, it like rants. And then there's a conspiracy theorist one. Everything's conspiracy. I have family members like that. So anyway, I was using Grok 3 to help me develop a dividend income portfolio. So I told it I wanted to generate $36,000 a year from dividends, and I want to have 10 different investment vehicles that generate dividends, and each one should have less than a 1% expense ratio and generate a 6% or more dividend yield. And then you end up needing about between $400,000 and $500,000 to generate $36,000 a year. And it should do that in perpetuity, which means forever. So I'm pretty much already at a place where if I sold my house, I wouldn't get between $400,000 and $500,000 for it, but I have enough in other investments that I could get up to that range and be able to generate like $36,000 a year in dividends. So I create a little spreadsheet too with all of them. And so the first one is Strike, STRK, which that's the MicroStrategy preferred stock. So I have a $500,000 model portfolio here, and that generates an 8.64% dividend, which would be $4,320 a year on $50,000 investment. 0% expense ratio because it's just a stock. And then the next one would be QQQI, which is a covered call strategy that is run on the NASDAQ 100, so mostly like tech stocks and stuff. And covered calls is basically they hold shares and they'll sell an option for money. They generate a premium by selling these, which gives the person the right who buys the option to buy the stock at whatever price the covered call is at. But you keep the premium when they buy it. So that's how you generate income, by writing covered calls. And there's ETFs like this one that just do that for you. And it has a yield of 14%, so that's a pretty high one. So that'll generate $7,000 a year on a $50,000 investment, and has a 0.68% expense ratio, which is the highest that I have. And then we have MLPX, which that's like a oil and gas pipeline. MLP, which I forget what MLP stands for. Well, basically you're investing in companies that are building oil and gas pipelines, which that's going to be a business that goes on forever. Thank you. And then my next one is some of these. Let me skip that one for now because I'm PFF. I forget what that one is. The next one is SPY-I, which is just like QQQI, except it's running covered call strategy on the S&P 500 rather than the NASDAQ 100. And we have JEPI, which is another covered call type thing. That one's done by JP Morgan. Similar. Then we have JNK, which is basically bonds. It's a bond strategy. That generates 6.5%. Injepi generates 7%. SPY generates 11.5%. And then these other ones, I'll have to go back and look, see what these are. Because Grok helped me pick them out. And it took us a while to go through. Like, he'd pick one, and I'd have a portfolio all measured out, and I'm like, okay, what's the expense ratios on all these? And some had like 2.68% expense ratio, and I'm not paying that much to have it. And I'd just be like, well, find something that has a similar strategy that has a lower expense ratio, and it would find something to replace it. So after I tweaked it all, my total overall expense ratio is 0.44%. So that ends up being like between $2,000 and $3,000 a year total to hold all of these and have them generate income for me, which that's pretty cheap. It's like, hiring an employee that works for $2,000 or $3,000 a year that sells stock options for you and generates a return. So my overall return on this, and this is a $500,000 portfolio, is 8.11%, which is $40,070 a year. But then I'd have to take that $3,000 out. So that's about $37,000 a year after the expense ratio, expenses. And it really only costs $24,000 a year maybe to stay in some of these places I want to go. Southeast Asia, live comfortably. So definitely feasible. So here's all the tickers if you're interested in modeling this out yourself. And if you find any flaws in it, let me know. So it's STRK, QQQI, MLPX, PFF, SPYI, PGX, JEPI, JNK, BKLN, and PFFD. And each one has a 10% allocation. So I think this seems like a good option rather than, just leaving your money in a 60-40 stocks and bonds portfolio and just drawing, money off that, which it would get depleted pretty quick. I would need more money. I couldn't do it on like 500,000 if you're doing that strategy, because if you're taking, it's usually like 4% rule. So to generate $40,000, I'd need $1 million instead of 500,000 to be able to withdraw $40,000 a year and live on that. So something I've been thinking about. And now I have a rock in my shoe, or a twig. So that's my idea to live off dividends. Those are all pretty 19 minutes, 53-second mile. Not my fastest. I'm just strolling at a casual pace. But it also calculated like the overall risk profile. It said that, like the biggest down draw on it would be like something like 2020, a major event, and it would go down like 23%. And then just normal corrections would be like 2022, when they started raising interest rates, it would go down like 10%. But then it recovers, so that's not much different than if I was just holding the S&P 500 index. But the S&P 500 index is not going to generate that kind of yield to live off of. Yeah, so that was today's adventure. And just listing things on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. Listed a new art picture, MC Escher, one of him holding like a crystal ball, the sphere. I got a lot of messages about it. Someone saying like, how much for all the art? Which right now it's like $780 for all the art I have. And I know I spent probably, that's a big loser. Although I've had it for, man, probably close to 20 years. Hello. But I paid a lot more than what I'm selling for. And they've been listed for a while, so I started a little bit higher. I'm just lowering it over time to try to get it to prices that it's too good to pass up. I did just order a new backpack, which is, I think, the Osprey Protectly, I think is what the series of the bag is. And it usually goes for $110. I found one brand new on eBay that was listed for $75, but it has a Mountain Dew and Elder Scrolls like label on the front of the bag. And I don't care. I'll rep some Mountain Dew and Elder Scrolls. Never played Elder Scrolls in my life, but it's a pretty popular game, right? And so I offered him, I think I offered him $50. So that's more than half price of what they are new. And the price was accepted, so with shipping and tax, it ends up being like $59.99, something like that. It's under $60. So that was a good deal on that bag. And I'm going to be repping Mountain Dew and Elder Scrolls. And then I do have someone interested in my bag. But he's in South Austin. And he's kind of hesitant to drive all the way up to Round Rock where I'm at. So I did offer him that I would deliver it to him for $10 if he paid me the $10 up front for the drive down there. I'm probably going to list my purple mattress, even though I love that bed. I could sleep on, I have two other mattresses that are in the guest bedrooms. One of them's like a $2,000 pillow top mattress that's way too soft that I bought, and after like 6 weeks my back started hurting. It was already too late to return it. So that was a bad purchase. It's been sitting in the spare bedroom since 2007. It's probably been slept on a total of 2 months. I remember years later, I tried to bring it back in, see if it was any different, and my back started hurting again. So I can't sleep on a mattress that's too soft. My back hurts. I need a little firmness. And the purple mattress is perfect. It's like, it cradles you, but it's got support. And it's gel-like grid. Very nice. And also today, which is the 5th, March 5th, right? Yes. Bitcoin and MicroStrategy had a nice rallying day today. I think some of my options in my Roth IRA account were up over 50% today. That's a good day, 50% gains. But I need them to go up like 1,000% to get back to where I was in November. Which I did have 1,000% gains on some of my options back in November. And I didn't sell. I didn't sell options that I had 1,000% gains on in a period of like 2 weeks. Oh, I was just so blind. My mom thinks I'm going to go crazy by even thinking about that. I'm not. I still have other investments. My Roth is, man, sharp rock in the shoe, something. I have other investments. I don't really need it, but I would have been much better off. I would have preferred to be better off, but at least I'm not. I didn't lose everything. I'm still better off than most. Still hope on the horizon. I'm building some apartment complex here. I've had a pretty busy week. There was a bunch of outages of my peers, and we have like another site in Oklahoma. Some of those people were out on team events, so I was getting more cases than I normally do. It's only Wednesday and I have 7 cases, which the average is like 4 for the week. I can't really believe I get paid what I do to work on 4 things a week on average. Although that's the team average. My average is more like 5 or 6, I think, a week. But I am working on kind of easier stuff where there's other people that are working on like the Azure and other cloud solutions and storage that I don't want to work on. So those take longer, more complex. So that's why their caseload's usually lower. But yeah, I'm clearing things out in my house. And as soon as I can, I'm gonna get it listed, hopefully by the end of March. and get it on the market. Give me some money. Get invested in some of the dividend income portfolio. And then we'll see where I'm at then. May just put my 2 weeks notice in and call it quits there. And once I get my house all cleaned up and listed, I'm gonna pack up my Tesla. And I have like $900 and some of credit with Tesla that I could use for like supercharging. So I think I'm gonna use it to drive a load of stuff, like my yearbooks, my photos, stuff that I want to keep in storage as I'm walking the earth in Asia, and drive all that stuff up to my mom and put it in one of the bedrooms up there in her house. And then I have to drive all the way back. Maybe I'll stay up there for a week or two, work from up there. I'd have to leave on like a Friday night so that I can stop and stay the night somewhere. But got to get up there by Monday to work remotely. And then at least probably stay a couple weeks just because it's driving that far. I think it's like 24 to 26 hours of driving, which I'd probably split over 2 days. Maybe even 3 days, because I start driving on Friday, like after work, and maybe drive just till like midnight. Drive like 8 hours a day would be better than 12 hours. And yeah, get some stuff up there in storage that I don't want to get rid of or donate. Sentimental items. And then I gotta sell my car, which I really don't want to do. But I only have like a 4-year loan on it, so I'm paying like $1,000 a month. And I've got it like over half paid off. So I should be able to get like $8,000 back after I sell it of equity. My uncle said he's interested, so see if he wants to get it. I did fix it up and put all kinds of cool stuff on it. It's looking nice. It's got under 10,000 miles on it. It won't after I drive it to Ohio and back, but I can fit a good amount of stuff in the Tesla. Loaded to the gills. I'm pretty much ready to go. Like I really should wait until this Bitcoin cycle plays out so that I don't feel the pressure of selling. Although I need more pressure to feel like I should sell after what happened in November, where I was cool as a cucumber not selling while things plummeted. I do already have like a ladder of sales set up on my options, so as they reach a certain gradually increasing price targets, they're selling off automatically. But some of those price targets are pretty high, so they may not get reached. That's when discretion comes in, and I gotta have a plan to hit the sell button, not just let things linger. Coming up, I think there was supposed to be a vote today on whether Texas was going to have a strategic Bitcoin reserve. I've not heard anything yet. Not really looked. And then there's some digital assets meeting with the president and all the, a couple of Bitcoin people and a bunch of shitcoin people from Ripple and Solana and Cardano and all these shitcoins that are come having a meeting. I think the CEO of Coinbase. So all these crypto people are going to meet and discuss the strategic reserve of crypto assets. They're not calling it the strategic Bitcoin reserve right now. I'm calling it like the strategic crypto reserve. But then there's also a wealth fund that would consist of more than just crypto. So that could be like stocks and stuff. I think if they're gonna add shitcoins to the reserve, they should do it like an index fund, where it's how much they're allocating to the reserve is based on market share or market cap weight. So Bitcoin has 50 to 60% market cap, I think, right now. So it would be by far the largest. It's larger than all the rest combined. And then like Ethereum would be next, and I don't even know how the others weigh in from there. But that would be make sure that you're not, buying an equal amount of Bitcoin and Ripple and Solana, which I don't think they should be in there at all. But if you're going to do it, then I would do it that way to be fair by market cap. So then you're not showing preference as a government, especially to these privately owned, or basically like corporations. They have an issuer, they're a security, where Bitcoin has no issuer. There's no CEO of Bitcoin. It's a self-contained system that was created and let loose into the wild, and it's been running ever since. There's like a foundation and stuff of developers that can make changes if needed, like coming up with the quantum computing. Like there's going to have to be a change implemented into Bitcoin to be quantum computing resistant. But like the developers and the foundation can make the change, but it takes, I forget, it's a large percentage. I don't know if it's just over 50% or if it's more than that. But everyone who's running nodes has to agree to adopt the change for it to go into effect. And that's only happened like a couple times in Bitcoin's history. The fewer of the changes, the better. Only change what's absolutely necessary for the integrity of the network. Oh man, I believe how nice it is. With a nice breeze. It's not as windy as it was yesterday, but a nice cool breeze. Feels great. So I finally watched that series my mom recommended, Paradise. It was very good. It just had the season finale on Tuesday, which was yesterday. So I timed it perfectly when to start it. It was very good. It's kind of like Silo, if you watch that series, which is another good series. So it's kind of apocalyptic. And it's very good. I can't say too much about it, but I would highly recommend watching it. It's only 8 episodes in season 1. And it's already got approved for season 2. So, worth a watch. If I went left, that'd be a much shorter route. But I'm gonna go down here. I think if I go this way, it ends up being over 4 miles. We'll find out. And I've still been experimenting with trying to do everything that I need to do computational wise without my laptop. And one thing was printing, because I can't print directly from my iPhone or iPad to my IP printer. They do make printers that do work, that have like AirPrint or whatever built into them, but I don't have one of those. I've got an old like 2006 color LaserJet printer that's like a tank that's been running forever, and it's only like, I've never replaced any toner or anything in it. This is like enterprise level printer that's, meant to print thousands and thousands of copies of stuff. And I've only printed, I think, like 1,100 pages in the 18 years that I've had it. I bought it like as a refurb or something. I got a good deal on it. But I don't want to replace it. But I did find a workaround. I have a Synology NAS that I use as like my Plex server and to store just like backups of photos and documents and stuff, which that's going to need to go to my mom's too. And my mom's internet sucks, so that's going to be interesting. Maybe I can get my friend Jason to host it for me. Be like, will you let me put this in your closet and use your internet? I could just say that, he can use it as his Plex server too. He's already has access to it, but I'd let him add all the other people that need access to it as well. He could just use it as his, and because he has like, 1 or 2 gig up and down AT&T fiber, which would be much better than my mom's free Spectrum cable internet. I don't know. Let's see. That's like a $1,500 piece of equipment, but I'll be able to use it as I travel around the world, and probably just, just let it. It'll be left there forever. I'll essentially be forfeiting it in exchange for letting me and my family use it on his internet connection. And then he'd be able to get rid of his server because he has a Plex server. It's getting close. You can almost taste the freedom. And I gave away, 4 huge bags of clothes to Goodwill. Stuff that, I probably could have sold some of it, but it was just too daunting of a task. There's hundreds of items. So I kept what I thought I could get some money out of, and I'm going to take it to this clothing shop that buys used clothes, load up 2 big suitcases and wheel them in there and see if I can get any money for any of it. And then what they don't buy, I'll probably end up donating to Goodwill too. Eventually. I have some stuff on eBay, but I've only sold 1 or 2 items. And I've hardly wore any of the stuff for years. It's such a waste to have so many clothes. My new philosophy is just going to have 3 to 5 items, 3 to 5 shirts, and have some a few quality items rather than many items. And just replace them as needed. I have found that my merino wool shirts that I bought, they're not really holding up over time. The collars kind of get stretched out and they're not looking so neat. So the merino wool shirts, at least, are not going to make the cut. And then the merino wool socks that I have, I'm wondering, because they're so thick, I've heard that thick socks can actually cause blisters because there's more movement of the foot. So that's an actual theory. Right now I'm wearing sandals. And I do have some moleskin over the areas where I get blisters. So I could walk pretty far and with this setup. And I did buy some more thin socks, but the socks that I had before are from Duluth Trading, some thinner polyester. They call them their 10-year socks. It's supposed to last for 10 years. And I'm pretty sure I have had some of them at least 10 years. So my thick, darn tough socks, I don't think are good for long distance walking. Let me know if you've ever heard that before, of thick socks causing blisters. They're thick merino wool. Whereas my old ones were polyester. This is so much nicer since they opened this up, because a lot of these cars that are coming down this road would have been turning here and going up my road. So my road has got a lot less traffic on it now than it used to, because everyone could come right through here. It's very nice. Very, very nice. And I think the first country I'm going to visit will be Vietnam. Well, that's the first one I want to visit. I really want to get to Da Nang. But it depends when I go. Like, I think right now would be the best time to go to Vietnam. It's when the weather is really nice here now. I've been watching Social Sammy. He does daily videos from Da Nang, and everything's sunny and beautiful there right now. So it really depends on what time of year. I have my whole chart of the dry seasons in every city in Southeast Asia. So whenever I'm ready to pull the trigger, I'll just have to look at my little chart and figure out where to go. But flights to Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam, seem to be the cheapest from America. Like, I paid almost $3,000 for my round trip flight to Bangkok, but that was on Singapore Airlines, and it was like premium economy. So, you know, I wanted to experience the best airline in the world, Singapore Airlines. But I had to pay a premium for that. But I've looked up, and you can get flights, you know, economy flights to Ho Chi Minh for like $700 to $900. That'd be one way. So not too bad to get to the other side of the world. So I guess I'm probably flying to Ho Chi Minh and then figure out where I need to go from there. And you could, like, even if you're going to Bangkok, like if you look up a flight from Austin to Bangkok, let's say it's one-way flight for $1,500. Well, you could go, if you could fly to Ho Chi Minh for $700, you could just book that flight from here to Ho Chi Minh and then get online and buy a flight just from Ho Chi Minh to Bangkok, and it's probably like $100. So just book them separately. And you could do that with just about, you know, any city in Southeast Asia. Like, once you're in Southeast Asia, flights within Southeast Asia are dirt cheap. You can fly almost anywhere for like $200 or $300 or less. And many of them are like under $100. Like between Vietnam and Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, they're all clustered together. even down to Kuala Lumpur. It's a little farther flight to like Indonesia, Bali and stuff, or the Philippines. What are we at now? 3.5 miles. And so I think we'll be right around 4 miles. So I think it's about half mile longer going this way than if I'd have turned left and went back towards my house. Because I was at a little shy of 2.5 miles there, and I was about a mile from my house. And since I've been editing videos on my phone, I just hook my Action 5 Pro up to my iPhone, download the video clips, and then I sit in the bathtub with my iPhone and edit my videos while I'm sitting in the bathtub. Can't do that with my MacBook Pro. I guess you could try, but that would be a very dangerous game. If I drop my iPhone, it's waterproof. MacBook Pro is not. So yeah, my Synology NAS, I set it up as my print server. So my old IP printer, and then it also has enabling like the Air print. Hello. So I can print from my phone through my Synology NAS to my old school IP printer. So don't need my laptop for that. Don't need my laptop to edit videos. I'm still waiting for a reason why I need it. So that might be on eBay or Swappa, Facebook Marketplace pretty soon. Probably put it on Marketplace first. See if I get some bites. If you could sell something on Marketplace, you're gonna get more money. Because there's no fees if you're selling it locally. Which I like. I like it a lot. And my diet's going good. Today I had some roast beef again. Some that I bought from Randall's. And I had 2 burger patties that I packed up in those little sandwich bags by myself. That's all I've had, and I'm not hungry. Maybe all I eat all day. Maybe I'll dip into some turkey breasts later. Sounds good. My weight did go up in 263. So I was down to 259, went up 263. So it's not a straight line down. The volatility of weight loss. But hopefully the trend is down, which it'll have to be. There's no way it can't be. Definitely not eating as much because I'm not as hungry. And I've checked my ketones and I'm in ketosis, which is a fat burning mode. So the fat is getting eaten off. It's probably just water weight fluctuations. I saw there was a State of the Union last night. I didn't watch it. I've not watched the last few State of the Unions. I know what the State of the Union is from my perspective. That's all I care about. State of the Union is turmoil. Turmoil, high prices, rip-off prices, really. I would put them at rip-off level. Don't want to buy eggs because eggs cost too much. Don't want to go out to eat at restaurants. It costs too much. Just have to sit at home, buy things on sale at the grocery store. And watch streaming television to entertain yourself, because going to the movies is expensive. Everything is expensive. That is the state of the union. Super expensive. That's why I'm looking to get out of the union. Don't even talk to me about healthcare. Healthcare is ridiculous. Most expensive healthcare in the world. That if I quit my job and got sick, I'd be completely bankrupt. So if you don't work a job, you have to, if you're not poor enough to be on Medicaid, or you're not old enough to be on Medicare, you just have to get out of the country. Because if you do have an accident or you get sick, anything needing medical attention, if you're not poor to qualify for Medicaid, you will be poor enough after you get the hospital bills. If you don't have insurance, and you can't afford insurance in the United States unless you are working a job. So you can't retire early in the United States unless you hit the lottery. Not just off normal earnings. The average, even above average worker, I'd consider myself an above average worker. And I still can't afford to retire early here.
Split 4, the split pace, 17 minutes, 46 seconds per mile.
17 minutes, 46 seconds. That's a pretty good mile. That's 4 miles. So I'll be a little over 4. So it might be 3/4 of a mile farther going this way than the other way. Yeah, so that's one of the main things that's, if you want to retire early, you have to leave the United States. And the main reason is because of healthcare. Like, costs for everything else, housing, groceries, that stuff's high too, but it's nothing compared to how high medical costs are, especially if you don't have insurance. And if you did have like some rare disease, or needed some super complex, uncommon surgery, like, the doctors in the United States are the best in the world, but you're going to pay for it. But for the other 99% of reasons that you need medical care that pretty much anyone else can do, broken arm, or general, normal, run-of-the-mill infections. Row, row, row. You're going to pay like 90% less everywhere else in the world. And that's as a U.S. citizen that doesn't qualify for universal health care in all these places. Like most of the places, if you're a citizen, you're not paying nothing. You get sick or in an accident, you go into the hospital and they fix you up and say, have a nice day. And you're not bankrupt. It's just a benefit of being a citizen of the country. Everyone chips in with taxes, which pays for healthcare for everyone. If you ever need it, it's already paid for. But the United States is so individualistic. They don't want to pay to benefit anyone, even if it's cheaper. They're like, I'll pay more for healthcare just to make sure that that poor person is not benefiting or getting healthcare for free. I'll pay 5 times as much to make sure that they don't get healthcare. That's how it is in the United States. Which is so stupid. I mean, it's beyond selfish. It's just craziness. Crazy. All right. Well, it was 4.23 miles. And that is all I've got for now. So, thanks for watching. It's a beautiful day for a walk. One last look at that sun over there. So, thanks for hanging out with me. And I will talk to you later. Take it easy.